Hello, welcome back to AC 3D CAD. In this tutorial, we will create a universal coupling in 3D and learn how to assemble its components. On this side is the isometric drawing that I did earlier for reference. Let's begin by opening the layer properties from the ribbon and create layers that will correspond to the components of the universal coupling. Click this new layer icon and create about 5 layers. Rename this one to first port. The second one to center block. Third one to color. This one to taper pin. And this one to pin. I'm just going to adjust the screen. And click this drop down arrow from the layer properties and select first port. And from the top view, along the x-axis, if this is our origin, and this is the x-axis and this is the y, the distance is 60 millimeters or 60 units. So select polyline from the ribbon and type 0, 0, 0, enter to start from the origin. And along the x-axis, enter 60. And the y-axis, enter 90. And 60 again along the x-axis. And to close, just type C and enter. I'm just going to turn off the grid for better visualization. And to create this circle, type C for circle command. Locate center. Type D for diameter option and enter 60. Right click to repeat circle. Locate center again. Type D for diameter option and enter 30. Now bring your drawing to top view. And now we're going to create this portion. As you can see here, the distance from the center of the circle to this point is 18. So I'm going to draw a construction line. Locate center and bring down your cursor and enter 18. Now I'm going to offset this line. For the distance here is 8 from this point to this point. So we're going to offset on both sides for 4 units. So type O for offset command and enter 4 units. Click that line and click this side. Click this line and click this side. Now draw a line again. Type L for line command and click that endpoint and this endpoint. Now we're going to trim these portions or these unwanted lines. Type TR for trim command, double click and click these segments and just delete this one. Now we're going to join these segments, so type J for join command, right click and just highlight the whole thing. Now it's one object. Now press the shift key from your keyboard and the wheel and then move it around and extrude this one for, and from the front view the extrusion for That is 15 units. So highlight this one, select extrude, and bring down your cursor for 15 units. I'm just going to change this to wireframe, and then highlight these two, and the extrusion there is 30 from this point to this point. So extrude command and bring your cursor up for 30 units. I'm going to change the visual style to shaded with edges. Click this one, and I have to remove this inner cylinder. So go to the ribbon and select solid subtract command. Click the object you want to keep, right click, and select the object you want to remove. Now I'm going to draw this one here, and the distance from this point to this point is 20. So I'm going to draw a construction line. From the midpoint, bring down your cursor for 20 units. Change the Z to this direction. So circle from the ribbon and enter D for diameter option and enter 46 units. So repeat circle, right click, and enter 16 units. Well, D first for diameter option and enter 16. Now I'm gonna draw a line from this endpoint and shift right click and select tangent and select there. The other side from this endpoint, shift right click and select tangent. I'm going to draw a line again from this endpoint to this endpoint. Type TR for trim command, double click and remove this one and that one. Now we're going to join the segments. Type J for join command, click this one and select the line. Now it's one object. I'm going to turn this around again and extrude it for, as you can see here, this one here, 15 units. So select extrude command from the ribbon, click that, enter, move it towards this direction and enter 15 units. Highlight this one, right click, copy selection, click that corner and attach it to this corner. Combine all the solid objects by selecting solid union command from the ribbon and select that, select this one and select this one. Go back to the ribbon and select press pull command and hover over this object, and once it turns blue, left click, bring your cursor to this direction and left click again. Now we created two holes. Now our first fork is done. Let's proceed to the next component. And the next component to draw is the center block. But first I have to hide this one and change the layer. Click this drop down arrow from the layer properties and click this light bulb and then change the layer to center block. Let's start from the top view. And select circle from the ribbon. Click anywhere on the screen. Type D for diameter option and enter 30, which is this one here. Right click to repeat circle. Locate center. Type D for diameter option and enter 16. And we're gonna create a construction line from the center of the circle towards the center of this cylinder, which is 23 units. So type L for line. Click the center and enter 23 units. Right click to repeat line. Hover over from the endpoint, bring your cursor up for 30 units and bring it down for 60 units. Now bring your drawing to southeast isometric. We're going to extrude these two circles downward for 30 units. The total extrusion is 60, as you can see here from the right side view. But I only did 30 to place the construction line in the middle of the cylinder. So now go back to the ribbon and select press pull command. Hover over the middle circle. Left click and raise it up for 30 units. And the same process for the outer circle or outer cylinder and enter 30 units. Now go back to the ribbon again and select solid subtract command from the solid editing panel. Click the object you want to keep, right click and select the object you want to remove. Now it's time to draw cylinder towards this Y axis, but first we have to change the direction of the Z so to make it parallel to the direction of the cylinder that we are gonna draw. Circle, type D for diameter option and enter 30. Right click to repeat circle. Type D for diameter option and enter 16. Click the two circles and extrude it towards the end point of this construction line, which is 60 units. Now, select subtract command from the solid editing panel. Click the objects you want to keep, right click and select the middle cylinder that you want to remove. I'm just going to move this one and delete the unwanted objects or the construction line. And now we're done with the center block. And let's proceed to the next component. The next component to draw is the color. So we can hide the center block by clicking this light bulb and change the layer to color. We're going to start from top view again and select circle. Click anywhere on the screen, type D for diameter option and enter 24, which is this one here. Right click to repeat circle and enter D for diameter option and enter 16. Now the extrusion is, okay, wait, I haven't measured it. From this point to this point is 8 units. So let's bring this drawing to southeast isometric, or maybe southwest, and extrude this one for 8 units. Subtract command from the solid editing panel. Click the object you want to keep, right click and click the object that you want to remove. I'm just gonna do a construction line again from the center. So line, I'll locate the first center of the opening of the cylinder and bring it towards to the other side, which is the center of also the other side of the cylinder. And then line again from the midpoint, draw a line about that size. I'm just gonna move this one. Change the direction of your UCS or the Z axis parallel to the hole that we're going to make. And then the size of the hole is 4 units in diameter. We'll create a cylinder first. Type D for diameter option and enter 4. Extrude this one. Select subtract command from the ribbon. Click the object you want to keep, right click and select the object you want to remove. Now we have holes. Now I'm just gonna go back to solid and then fillet edge and enter the radius 1. So go to the command window and select the radius option and enter 1. And click this edge. Enter twice. Now we're done with the color. I'm just gonna move this one and erase that. And the next drawing that we're gonna do is the pin or taper pin. The next component to draw is the pin layer. First, I'm gonna hide this color. So click this drop down arrow and locate color and click this light bulb and change the current layer to pin layer. Bring your drawing to top view. And let's draw the head first. So circle, type D for diameter option and enter 24. Right click to repeat circle, locate center, type D for diameter option and enter 16. Bring your drawing to southwest isometric. And extrude this outer circle for 8 units. And for the cylinder, it's 113 units. So click the inner circle. And chamfer the edge for 45 degrees with a distance of 1 unit. So select chamfer edge, select distance, and enter 1 unit. And the next distance is 1 unit. Enter. And select the edge. Right click, enter, and enter again. And I think it's the same at the bottom. Yeah. So chamfer edge. Select distance from the distance option from the command window. Enter 1. And the second distance, the same thing, 1. And click the edge and enter twice. I'm just gonna combine these two objects. And the pin is done. Let's proceed to the next component. The last component would be the taper pin. First, we're gonna hide this pin. Click this bulb and change the current layer to taper pin. Start with circle. Click anywhere on the screen. First, change this to top view. So circle. Type D for diameter option and enter 4. Change the view to southwest isometric. Extrude this one for 30 units, which is this one here. So extrude command from the ribbon and enter 30 units. Now go back to solid and select chamfer edge and go back to the command window and select distance option and enter 0.5. And the second distance is also 0.5. Wait. Okay, chamfer edge, distance, 0.5, enter, and 0.5 again, and enter. And select this edge, and select that edge, enter, and enter again. Now we're done with the taper pin layer. The next thing to do is assemble the components. To assemble the components, let's first click this drop down arrow and turn on the layers by clicking the light bulbs. And let's assign colors to each specific layer and click this box and select green for the center block, and for the color select yellow. For the first fork select red. For the taper pin select orange. Copy this one and create a new layer by clicking this first one here, this first icon, and type second fork. And assign color for this. I'm going to choose blue. Change the layer for that and select second fork. Rotate the center block by selecting 3D rotate from the ribbon and choose the green circle and rotate it for about 90 degrees. Move this one from the center to the center of this hole. Rotate this second fork for 90 degrees. Rotate it again and select that blue circle for 90 degrees. The other way around, that way, and move this one. Locate the center and attach it here. It looks okay. And then I'm gonna rotate this one and then check that blue or highlight that blue color. I'm just gonna move this one here. I'm gonna create a construction line, so line, L for line command, and select the center and turn around and click the other center of that cylinder, enter. Now I'm gonna rotate this one too and select that green circle. Move this one, locate center, and attach it to the midpoint of that construction line. Now I'm gonna move this one, locate center, attach it here to the center of that hole. Move this one, locate center, and attach it to the center of that hole. I'm gonna copy these objects and turn this around or rotate this one using 3D rotate, and highlight that or move your cursor near that blue circle and click it and turn it around for 90 degrees. And I'm gonna move this one, locate center, and attach it to the center of this hole. Bring your object to front view. I'm just gonna rotate this object maybe to this direction. Rotate this one from the center to about 270 degrees. I think we are done. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon, and see you again. Bye bye.